What's happening with ICP coin? Now, this one is the one that people are talking about, talk of the town. I know I basically said wrong stuff about it and I didn't do my research as the holders were telling me. So I went ahead and did some more research on that aspect. I waited and waited, looked more into it, looked what's going on behind the prices, looked how much potential does it have? What can it do differently? All this awesome stuff for ICP in the long-term sense, and that was definitely keeping me hyped up about it. Just researching and learning, and right now it's really growing. While in 2022 it was one of the biggest drops in crypto, it really did recover in that sense. It really did see a price action recovery exactly as we wanted to see it. So that's good news, right? That is definitely something that people are looking forward to. Good, right? And I'm really happy with that. But we have to realize that crypto right now is still in very early stages. Can ICP survive the bear markets? So if we look over here, Internet Computer will be a key alternative to AWS-like services. So basically providing the blockchain industry, basically hosting, providing all of the massive updates that we were waiting for, all of the good stuff.
Journalist Zaiwan Soon, during the Ethereum Community Conference, Williams explained that with the use of smart contracts, Internet Computer would remove any human backdoors, making the next generation of the protocol truly autonomous and decentralized. So that is what we have to understand here, guys. We're not talking about some minor pump here, just some random.
Again, this is a very known pump for a good reason. We have been waiting this for such a long time, or the ICP holders were waiting for this for such a long time, and finally it's here. Finally what we have been waiting for, and that is nobody predicted these massive pumps, right? Nobody predicted that it will increase so much in value, so much in price on that basis. So here's where I'm really excited for it, is that it really does seem like it's here to stay. It really does seem like while it was dropping hard, while it saw all these drops, ICP holders were really mad at it, said it's one of the worst holdings ever. It's like an ICO crash. They were out there building. We want to replace the centralized system like canister smart contract on the Internet Computer. It's like an evolution of DAO technology. So whole thing is secured, decentralized, and all of that. So in reality, seeing all these updates makes me really happy. And I do think ICP does have a fair chance of seeing like some, draw more price hikes like this, because this is what we have been waiting for. And ICP proves again and again that it can recover. It can, see major market rallies, see major bull runs that people were waiting for. So that's the good news to me. That's the big, exciting update. If you ask me, like, there is a clear winner in that sense. Like, we have been waiting this for such a long time, and it's finally here. But I will keep you guys updated on that a bit more.
Williams himself. We want people to replace the centralized systems with canister smart contracts on Internet Computer. It's like an evolution of DAO technology. So the whole thing is secure.
So again, basically, the future is going to be on the internet. And what ICP is trying to do is what was never done before. So that is changing crypto for the long run, changing the crypto game in that sense. Showing people, hey, I can do it. I can make those changes. And I really like to see that. I really like to see that they are trying to solve something that hasn't been solved in crypto before. If you take a look at other cryptos, they just try to copy each other. But what ICP is trying to do in that sense is it's trying to actually make a long-term sustainable plan to see some crypto future price bumps. And that's where I am really proud of ICP in that sense. That's where I think it really wins in that aspect. So I definitely do see potential for it.
310% move in the last 100 days. Last time this thing flashed was October 1st. If you guys are interested in that, you guys can get access to that. It is an unbelievable tool. We've got over 400 people using it, guys. It can be used for crypto and stocks. Literally, guys, This thing flashed momentum up, time to buy back on October.
So again, it did flash, and it might even keep its momentum now because people were waiting for such a long time for this one, and now it is here with the technology people were waiting for a long time. It's here, and it's here to stay. So that is going to be the cool stuff about it. Williams went on to discuss the possibilities the ICP can open for a blockchain world. He noted small countries and projects wouldn't have to build wallets and could simply integrate in ICP with Bitcoin network to start transactions. Smart contracts can create Bitcoin address, receive, and send Bitcoin. So it's really advanced in that way, and that's where I'm really excited for. But if you guys want to be kept up with more content like this, you know what to do. Smash that like button, and I will keep you guys updated with more. Until next time, peace everyone.
And the reasons why.
Let's talk about them Bitcoin ETF news today. So what's happening, everyone? The Bitcoin ETF approval has been talk of the town lately, and it's been keeping a lot of people on the edge. So if you're interested in more content like this, be sure to smash that like button if you guys haven't already, because we are going to be looking at more crypto news today. Now, the big factor is crypto right now is really seeing like this sort of a downtrend after a bit of uncertainty if the spot Bitcoin ETF is going to get listed at all. And that's what's causing the biggest price drops. But as you see, issued additional comments on spot Bitcoin ETF applicants S1 form. More amendments are now expected tomorrow. And this is why I'm not that worried about it. I feel like that the SEC is making comments, what they could improve, what they could fix to get these approved. And Jim Cramer says Bitcoin is topping out. So when Jim Cramer says something, it's usually the reverse. And that's exactly what we're going to be seeing right now. Yesterday, Jim Cramer said Bitcoin is topping out and 50K is on the way because, well, that basically means if he says something, the opposite happens.
The bull market was canceled as a joke.
So yeah, he said that basically Bitcoin is over, but instead, usually the opposite happens. When we expect something, the exact opposite is what we see, and that's the good news about it. Like, we have been waiting for these massive bull runs for quite some time, actually. Bitwise, we know ETF investors care deeply about fees, and there's probably going to be no fees in that. So a lot of people that haven't known about crypto yet will end up buying it, which is definitely really, really good news for any type of crypto holders in that sense. Like, anyone interested in crypto is gonna get it at no fees at all. Like, even if it's like a 0.4% fee, the big whales are now gonna be buying these ETFs because a lot of stocks, they have fees. These ones, they do not. So BlackRock needs Bitcoin and Bitcoin doesn't need BlackRock. So Bitcoin is gonna grow regardless if crypto grows or not. So that's gonna be the real, difference in the prices. From what I'm seeing, like, there's going to still be that potential bull run. There's still going to be all these good news, all this bad news. But what we need to know is crypto really going to be the talk of the town from a year on out? The importance is Bitcoin really is used now in a lot of countries. It's not like 10 years ago when everybody was telling a friend about it. It's going to grow regardless if we get this spot Bitcoin ETF or not. And that's the real excitement about it. There is so much opportunity going to be happening in the crypto space that everybody is going to be talking about Bitcoin left or right. So if that's something you're interested in, smash that like button and I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Until next time, peace everyone. Bitcoin is really seeing some crazy patterns we never predicted. So what's happening, everyone? Hopefully you're all having a fantastic day today. But Bitcoin right now, look at this. Absolutely insane. CMC Bitcoin halving is coming in 100 days. And what this basically means is there are going to be less Bitcoin supply. But historically, why should you care? Is because every time we saw this, crypto basically went up. And the good news about this is we have been waiting this for such a long time, guys. We have been waiting this potentially for about 3 or 4 years now. And I am very, very hopeful in that sense. Like, I am very hopeful that the crypto markets will recover just because of this news alone. So that's going to be the big price aspect about it. But there is going to be more price opportunities on this one for Bitcoin halving. Just happening in 100 days is when I expect the biggest price bumps, especially if we get that spot listing ETF. If we don't get it, no problem. we can still exist, right? We can still stay alive. Crypto isn't going anywhere anytime soon. It's not going to leave tomorrow. And that's why people are so excited about Bitcoin right now. It really does have unlimited potential. So what I mean by unlimited is most people, they still haven't discovered crypto. They still, when they find out that the ETFs are listed on their brokerage account, so there's like a crypto exchanges and then there's crypto brokerages, that's when really we will see that massive uptrend in that sense.
That, so if we take a look at this is...
So again, 500 days before halving, we usually see all the time the crypto markets being uncertain, but the next time it goes up. And that's what I was telling to a lot of people. While the history might not repeat itself, it's still a very good indicator. So right now it's still uncertain. Oh, it might go up, it might go down. Nobody knows for sure. It's still a very, very good analysis right now. Like, we are still seeing more opportunities arising in that sense. We're still seeing crypto markets improving. We're nowhere near the bottom yet. So there's no indicators that the market is going to be absolutely destroyed in that sense, that it's going to crash, it's going to see huge price drops. No, and that's the good news about it. There is really going to be massive opportunities for anyone in the crypto space, anyone in long term. And that's why people are so excited, really, in that sense. That's why people are so hopeful for the next bull run to begin just in 100 days, which is going to be very fast. While you go to work, while you do normal stuff, crypto never sleeps.
Little less of a run up that we saw in 2012, okay? And boom, off to the races. Here we are again in 2020, before the halving. Little increase, and then boom, big gain.
Again, so this is what's happening right now. It's 500 days before the halving. It's again happening. We've been seeing the biggest crypto recession in crypto history. But now finally, the crypto markets can end up recovering. And I think this is where people are seriously excited to see that. Like, that we are going to be seeing more basic recoveries that we needed to see for some time. So that's going to be a big price indicator that the crypto markets will go up.
After the halving, and here we go. Then the bear market starts, which we've already just went through. We've all experienced it. And here we are again, 2023 into 2024. We are right here in the midst of it happening yet again. And again, this was a year ago, this chart. So literally we would put ourselves, right here on this chart. We are trending exactly the same way. And literally after having 4, we could be looking at a $200,000+ Bitcoin price if this plays out as it.
So yeah, $200,000, but with inflation. So what Zach forgot to mention is that crypto will always get hit by inflation because, well, when the crypto goes up, it usually takes a few years. So while 100K might sound amazing by now, if we get a 20% inflation, Bitcoin is really worth 80K. So I predict that Bitcoin's top is actually going to be about 80,000 with all the money that's been actually printed in that sense, that's been printed in the last few days. So if we could see that sort of recovery, that would be completely awesome. But again, seems like right now there still isn't, we still aren't seeing that type of update that we wanted to. But that's okay. That's fine too, right? We are not going to be seeing it in the short term in that sense. So maybe we could be seeing some improvements. But right now, I just feel like that crypto is still has way more updates to happen before we can actually get to those big prices. So that's just my opinion. I still think we're far way ahead from all these huge markets that we were expecting. Definitely a good way forward, but to see basically all-time high, we need to reach about 80,000. So we're still 50% off that, and that's both good news and bad news. 46,000 is really good price level. Imagine when Bitcoin was 23,000, 25,000. Yeah, it was still a lot, but it wasn't as lot as now. And now that the crypto markets are improving, people are actually like getting more hopeful. They're getting more positive in that sense. And that after the ETF, after the price cuts, after all of that, we could be seeing the prices basically skyrocket up to about 80K. But we first need to see rate cuts, which could be happening in March, sometime March. There's going to be multiple rate cuts, which means that recession will improve. In the long-term sense, again, really depends where we are going with this market. Anything could happen at that point. But I'll keep you guys updated with more news on that. And peace, everyone. It seems the support I get is absolutely unbelievable for Shiba Inu. If the 9 trillion perm plus happens, it will eliminate the difference between the max and circulating supply to us, creating demand for the coin. It should create an impact for a price, hopefully significant. In my opinion, the biggest problem we had with Shiba Inu, and smash that like button if you haven't already, is nobody cared about it because the burns that were always hyped to be the biggest, the most awesome burns, ended up being just a few billion. And this might have meant a lot when Shiba Inu was not down 90%. And it made a huge difference. But right now, it really does not change anything. So that being said, Shiba Inu is promising 9 trillion burn, or at least saying it's going to happen. And that's why I'm hopeful for that. That's why I'm really hopeful for the SHIB burn in that sense.
So a report has been surfacing, finally, maybe, hopefully. It has to happen, right? We need this to happen.
We need some miracle for Shiba Inu, basically. Like, something needs to happen in that sense. If that does not happen, I don't know where Shiba Inu will go from here. Like, really, because right now we need a miracle for SHIB.
A report is out there that trillions of Shiba Inu could be burned this month. Now, we know that the SHIB dev team did implement some burns back in December, but there's still a big pile of Shiba Inu that is stacked up right now to be burned. And the big question is, will this happen? Well, I'm going to take you inside an article that highlights some quote-unquote leaked information that shows us that Shiba Inu could be getting ready to burn trillions. And again,
that's going to be amazing because we have been promised a burn for such a long time and it ended up not happening. So that was the biggest problem in crypto. We didn't see those burns that were promised. We didn't see all of those updates that were, talked about. And I feel like a lot of people left Shiba Inu also because of that. Like, why wouldn't they? They didn't get the updates, and those billions burns, those big products, SHIB coffee burn that should have really stood out, that should have gotten promoted, they didn't see much traction at all. And that was the main issue in this crypto space, is really sometimes good products are out there, but the developers just don't seem to realize it. So for me, I definitely think that we could have been seeing some more price predictions in that sense. We could have been seeing some more price updates. So we didn't see anything of that when the bull run came, when the ETF came. But Shiba Inu is not over yet.
Reporting on the news. I do not want a bunch of people to say, Zach, you always say this, blah, blah, blah. Listen.
Again, this is just rumors, but this is the good news. According to the SHIB developer team, may be prepared to burn several trillion Shiba Inu coins in January. I mean, that would be pretty awesome. 36 billion SHIB is really not as much as people expect. People are expecting big coin burns, but this is really not it. Like, I know people are expecting like huge coin burns in that sense, but we aren't seeing any of that in that sense. We weren't seeing any coin burns that people wanted.
Matt, by the way, just covers SHIB. He's not part of the official team or anything. Just covers SHIB on Twitter. Met him actually out at ETH Toronto. Really nice guy. What's up, brother? He shared a screenshot of a social media post made by Ragnar SHIB, the admin of the Telegram group Shibarium Tech. Now, according to this, the SHIB developer team may be, there's the wording,
Again, if we see 6 trillion burn, like they got a lot from those fees from Shibarium. So from their blockchain decentralized exchange, they probably got a lot of SHIB off the fees, off all of that. There's no reason to sell it because it would crash the price. So why not just burn this token? Definitely impact the price in the long-term sense.
Be prepared to burn several trillion Shiba Inu coins this month in January. Now, we're supposed to have automated burns this month as well. Hopefully that comes to fruition. In addition to this, I don't know. But in December and November, we know that the SHIB team incinerated billions of SHIB,
They definitely did a big burn, and that's what people were hoping for in that sense. Like, we were hoping for some big burns, and we got them big burns. But this is just the start of something bigger. In that sense, yeah, the burns do help, but they don't help nearly enough as we expected.
Them from Shibarium transaction fees, as was laid out. But as we're going to look at here, there is still a lot of bone to be converted to SHIB in order to burn it. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But besides, there is also supposed to be another new upgrade coming this month. The likely reason for the aforementioned enormous SHIB lump the team may burn. The 9.25 trillion Shiba Inu that could potentially be destroyed are likely to come from the 1 million worth of bone.
So again, the bone is, you really can't make everyone happy. That's the problem with the SHIB crypto space. So the bone holders will basically take the big hit for the crypto drops, for the crypto bull runs. That's kind of problematic, but what can you do? Like, there's no winners. And bone is always the one that is the scapegoat for Shiba Inu's drop. But if they sell all their bone, so destroyed, likely coming from 1 million worth of bone, so they could be selling 9 trillion, basically 1 million worth of bone that the team reported in late November. Maybe they got it by selling their Shiba Inu. I'm not too sure. There's going to be probably many scenarios of what will happen. Right now, it's still very uncertain.
The team reported in late November that US dollar equivalent is worth over 101. What is that? Billion, trillion?
101. So that's 800,000, 101 billion SHIB coins. So $1 million is 100 billion SHIB coins. Again, some big whales do have a very large portfolio, but they don't want to burn their coins. So that's the problem we're seeing right now. They don't want to burn anything in that aspect. They just don't feel like it. And that's fine too. Like, if they don't want to burn, they shouldn't burn. But it would definitely help the prices in that sense. So what I'm really hopeful for is that the Shiba Inu team starts to realize, yeah, this is what we need. We need to do these burns to increase the price.
This month. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Basically, this has come down. But
again, I kind of predicted that this prices are going to drop, that they're not going to be sustainable. Right now, we're seeing good sustainable way of crypto. Like, yeah, it's seeing some retraction. The blockchain fees, they're not really sustainable. Before, we were seeing 25K when Shibarium was released. I would say Shibarium's release was kind of underwhelming in a sense. The reason for that really is no one's fault. It's just that there's too many blockchains. Like, when Shiba Inu started, there was no major blockchains. Like, they had the right idea. But right now, every single person is already doing a blockchain at this point. So that's where I find this a bit problematic. Like, people are already doing blockchains in the long-term sense. They're already doing it for such a long time, and there's better blockchains than Shibarium, so that's why the price wasn't impacted. There's like Caspa, there's Solana. They have bigger funding than SHIB. They have like lots of more stuff than SHIB, so they really win in that sense.
Before we close things out, by the way, if you haven't hit the like button, definitely do so. And if you haven't given me your thoughts on all of this, I definitely want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. We need a shot in the arm. We need a spark.
So yeah, exactly what I said. We need a huge price update for SHIB, like something that will change Shiba Inu for the long term, something that will really make it go crazy. But I will keep you guys updated with more news on that if you guys are interested, because there is gonna be probably more updates on this, and I will keep you guys updated on it. So if you guys want more content like this, smash that like button, and until next time, Shiba Inu needs something huge, something the developers can only do. Something, if they have such a massive supply, let's burn it. Let's do something with it. And that's where I really think SHIB can outperform other tokens. For now, don't know what's going to happen with Shiba Inu, but I am going to stay hopeful.
See a little bit more transparency as this building phase happens, as this transition phase happens, moving away from meme coin into utility. I want to
Exactly. That's the thing. Shiba Inu is now a utility token, and it always was, always trying to be. But it needs to pull that off. It needs to provide something that the other tokens have been doing, not just being a copy of a sense. But if you guys want more content like this, smash that like button. I'll keep you guys updated with more news.